All right, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm having a great night here at the Tram. Thank you all so much for coming out. And we have yet another Tram debut tonight. Please welcome Debra Cox.
Hi everybody. I've been a fan of Comedy Central New York for about the past year, so it's still part of its fault that I'm here tonight, because I've been going to his shows and I just love the comedy. And I see Mike Bova here, another host at Comedy Central New York, and Rich that did a great show the other night, and I just love the show. So about 2 weeks ago, my mom and I were in New Jersey. We went to a comedy club, and I got there early because they had chili dogs. And so we go into the place, and the place is empty. There's nobody there, just the chili dogs. And there's the sound crew setting up all the things and the lights. So we have our chili dogs, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, wow, the lights are up there, and the sign's up, and there's the microphone. So I'm just like, wow, a Facebook opportunity. So I get right up on the stage, and I went up. The minute I picked up that mic, it was like, wow, magic mic. Something just came over me, and I was just like, wow, I'd really like to do this. So I just started goofing around. There's nobody in the place, and the sound crew's laughing, and I'm having fun. So the minute I get back to Utica, what do? I call Phil, and I'm like, Phil, aren't you having a show this week? Could I please just let me do like 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It doesn't even have to be when there's an audience there. If I could just get up and try it and see if I can do it. And Phil's like, no. And I'm like, Phil, where's the trust? Where's the faith? So anyway, here I'm really glad to be here tonight. This is the first time I've ever done this as an adult. I did try this in college once. I went to West Virginia University, go Mountaineers, and as a Yankee I never really fit in down there. So I thought, you know, it was this late 70s. Everybody was smoking pot and drinking. How hard can stand-up comedy be in a redneck bar? So it was awful. I was awful. I did it for about 2 minutes. I went in and I stood there and I looked, and it's like, thank God there was like a nice couple right there, right about there. And I thought, well, I'll just talk to them about their marriage and sex and stuff, and everybody will laugh. It'll be hilarious. But it wasn't. And I talked to them because everybody else looked like they were going to hurt me. So I'm like asking them all these personal questions. And the wife is just sitting there and she's going, making these faces. And I'm thinking, now what am I going to do? So I happen to look over where she's like glancing, and I'm like, no. And I'm like, are those your kids? And she's like, yeah. Wow, I am so sorry. I'm asking them all this stuff about their honeymoon and like that. And I just wanted to go through the floor. And then I look over because I want to like apologize to the kids because I'm like saying all these things about their parents. There's like a 12-year-old kid sitting there in the bar, and he's got Skoal in his mouth. You guys know what Skoal is in the South? All the kids do the chewing tobacco. 12 years old. So I'm like, ugh, now what am I going to do? So I look in the front row, and there's a nice couple sitting there, and I'm like, okay. So you guys having a good time? And they just look at me, and I'm like, yeah, not so much for me either. it was pretty awful. So I said, you know, have you guys been together for a long time? Are you married? And the woman goes, this is my son. So that was the end of that. So no more of that. So my name is Cox. It was a really hard name to grow up with. Really awful. And I don't know whether I was just like clueless, naive, borderline special ed, but I just didn't get the stuff that people were saying about me. Even in high school, I'm sitting on the bus, minding my own business, the football players get on. The next thing I know, it's like, boom, up against the window, and they're like, shove in, Cox. Shove in. Do you like it? Do you like it hard? Shove in, Cox. And I'm like, no, I don't like it. I like to sit on the aisle. And they were always saying things to me, and I just didn't get it. I don't think my mother likes, that's my mother over there. She's 86 years old. She's still part of this fan. loves Comedy Central. And I've been married 3 times. I always take Cox back. Anybody here engaged? Anybody engaged or women? Women engaged. I got some advice for you. Always hyphenate. You gotta hyphenate. Because when it starts going down and it's not gonna work, you just get out the white out. White out and you're single again. I bought stock in white out. So that's the way to do it. So I don't think my mom likes the name either, because when I take her to the doctor, the nurse will say, "What's your name?" She goes, "COX." And 9 out of 10 nurses always say, "How do you spell it? How do you spell it?" So I'm really blessed to have my mom. We do a lot of traveling, and she's 86 years old. She's got 2 artificial knees and a hip, and last Halloween I got my titanium knee. So when we travel, we go right through security. It's never a problem. We're just right through security. She's got a little scooter that she rides, and we get right through, except I'm the one that has to do the carry-on luggage, and my mom likes to play the game called Guess What I Hid in My Suitcase. Last time we went through security, she had a 32-ounce tube of hand cream, and she starts arguing with security that it's almost empty. And like, "Mom," I'm like, "they don't care that it's almost empty. You can't take it on the plane." But I wanted to take it. There's just a little bit left, and I wanted to finish it up. I'm going to give them the hand cream. We're going to miss the damn flight. So she gives them the hand cream. But she's always doing stuff like this. When we first started traveling, the first place we went that was really out of the country, because Canada doesn't count, we went to Africa. So we're in the Nairobi airport. We got our suitcases and we're heading to, go to our hotel. And I look over and there's a whole team of the, I don't know, AFT, AT, whatever they're called, the drug dogs. And they're like going through the airport. And all of a sudden I look and there's like a spaz dog at the end, maybe like the run of the litter or the special ed dog. And all of a sudden he spazzes out and he gets out of line. And he comes running, and he's like 1 testicle away from humping my mother's suitcase. And I'm like, "What did you put in that suitcase?" So the next thing I know, we're standing there, the Kenyan security guards come running over. They got their camouflage on, the berets, the machine guns. They take the suitcase, and we're up against the wall like this, and I'm like, "Don't say a word. Just keep your mouth shut." So they start going, you know what they found in her suitcase? A cheese ball. She brought a cheese ball to Africa. Now, I'm the kind of person when I travel, I like to learn the language so I can communicate with everybody. Like, "Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. This beautiful country. Where can I get a beer? Do you have a brother?" Things like that. And at that point, I was pretty sure that "cut the cheese" was not going to translate into Swahili. So we just stood there, biting our lips, trying not to laugh, while the Kenyans cut the cheese in front of us. Another time, she managed to sneak manicure scissors through 5 airports before they were confiscated in the Dominican Republic. Thought I was going to spend the whole summer in a Dominican prison. But one of our favorite trips was we went to Thailand, and it was an amazing trip. We went elephant trekking. She was 75 years old, and we went to Phi Phi Island, which is where the tsunami wiped out the whole island the year after we were there. And we also did the floating market, which was a lot of fun, because they got all kinds of interesting things, just big, beautiful fruits and vegetables. I bought a carrot. It was this big around in the Asian market. Looked like something you'd find on the black market, really. So, Phil, you told me that you were doing that working out thing. Anybody here following Phil's blog on working out and getting in shape? How's it going, Phil?
I'm crashing and burning.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's hard.
It is hard. Well, I went to the gym for like 2 years, and I didn't lose a pound. wore out my knee, got the titanium knee. I won't tell you what gym it was, but I have a lifetime supply of purple pens. I don't steal, but I scarf. I love to scarf up free stuff. And it's a no judgment zone, so I knew nobody'd turn me in. So, but I wore out the knee, so I don't do that anymore. I don't like to exercise because it gets you out of breath. I hate that. But I do like to swim. But I don't do any of the strokes where you have to breathe. It's just too hard. I don't like it. I get in and I swim, but I don't want to breathe. So I am a scuba diver. I have my advanced certification. Got it in Grenada. It was about the scariest thing I ever did up until tonight. So I just really like scuba diving because you don't have to worry about breathing. You just put it in your mouth and go down. I mean, who doesn't like to do that? Right, Ian? Right, Ian? Oh, not you, except for Mom. So I love the fitness club that I've joined because they have a lap pool. So I go there and I do the laps every day and it's a lot of fun. And this is a great place because they put out fruit. They give you apples. Now, you know what? I am 57 years old. I can't remember one day in my life where I thought, wow, I'd really like to have an apple. Never, never. I've had days where I thought, wow, I'd really like to have that carrot from the Asian market, but not an apple, not an apple. They never put out like coconut cream pie or a tray of brownies or cookies. It's always the apples. And the other annoying thing is there are all these absolutely gorgeous Bosnian and Russian girls there. And though you people in the back, I am standing up. These girls, their legs are taller than me. They're gorgeous. And they walk around with their little bikinis on like that, and they never swim. All they do is they get their apple, they go sit in the hot tub, and they just sit there eating the apples. And I'm in the pool and I'm doing the laps. And I go like 4 or 5 times a week. And I'm not losing the weight. I just go, I do the lap, I get dressed, I get my apple, I go home. And I just keep doing that. But you know what? On Friday, I do my laps, I get my apple, and I go home and make a pie. That's what I do. Well, that's all I have. I think I'm going to go to the Asian market for a carrot. This is fun. Thank you and God bless.
Very, very funny. Debra Cox. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen.